Today's video is on dividing rational numbers. Before we begin dividing fractions, we must be able to find the reciprocal of a fraction. The reciprocal of a fraction is found by flipping the fraction upside down. So what was the numerator becomes the denominator, and what was the denominator becomes the numerator. So here are some examples. If we have 2/3, if we find the reciprocal, that would be 3 halves. 4/7 becomes 7/4. 12/5 becomes 5/12. 1/6 becomes 6/1, or just 6. 7, to change that to find the reciprocal, we might need to remember that 7 we can write as 7/1. So the reciprocal when it's flipped would be 1/7. And also we need to remember that if we are working with a mixed number, we'll need to first change that into an improper fraction, like this example here. Change it into an improper fraction and then flip it upside down to find the reciprocal. An important note is that if you were to multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, the answer should always be 1. So here's an example. We had 2/3 and we have found the reciprocal here, 3 halves. When we multiply the numerators together, we get 2 times 3, which is 6, and the denominators, 3 times 2 is 6. If you were to simplify this, 6 goes into 6 once, so we just get 1. We need to find the reciprocal in order to divide fractions. To divide fractions, we have 3 steps. The first step is to change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Our second step is to flip the fraction, which follows the division sign. Find the reciprocal. So, here we have 2/3 divided by 4/5. We want to change the sign and find the reciprocal of 4/5. So what we've done at this point in our equation, we have flipped and the sign has been changed. Okay, and then we do a normal multiplication sign equation, remembering that we want to be simplifying before we multiply. Highest common factor between 2 and 4 is 2. So 2 goes into 2 once and into 4 twice. So 1 times 5 is 5, our new numerator, and 3 times 2 is 6, our new denominator. Now a handy hint to remember is stay, change, flip. Now what that's referring to is, if we're looking at our first example again, the first fraction you stay, leave it as it is. The sign, the division sign, is changed to be a multiplication sign, and the second fraction is flipped. So it might help you to remember stay, change, flip when doing division of fractions. Okay, here is our second example. 4/9 divided by 16. First we have to remember that 16 is really 16/1. So that's what we've done in this second line of working. So now we have an equation that reads 4/9 divided by 16/1. So now we want to be doing our stay, change, flip. So stay, keep this equation, this fraction the same. Change the sign to become multiplication, and flip, or find the reciprocal of 16/1, which is 1/16. Now we need to simplify our fraction, remembering our bow tie for simplifying. So we have 4 and 16 that has a highest common factor of 4. 4 goes into 4 once and into 16 4 times. So our solution is 1 times 1 equals 1 for our numerator, and 9 times 4 equals 36 as our denominator.